Hello again, everyone. In this video series, we're going to take a look at some helpful websites that you can visit that I think can be beneficial as complementary websites for when you're getting started, as you're sort of orienting yourself with the college, with the locations of things. Keep in mind that these websites that I've highlighted, these 6 websites, they are not the end-all be-all. You will regularly use Google and things like that to find answers. The first one we're going to look at is technology.engineering.ucdavis.edu. And on here, there's a variety of helpful tips and information specific to technology within the college. The other one, if we step back a tier and we go just straight to engineering.ucdavis.edu, this is the engineering homepage. I encourage you to check it out and just kind of poke around and see what's available. A lot of this is going to be what's happening within the college, less from the technical perspective, but sometimes, I'm on the phone with Matt Bishop and Matt's here on the right, maybe gives you a visual impression of who they are. On the About, if you click that and you wait for that to load, there is also the COE Resources Intranet. If you click that, there's some other helpful information here that you can check. There's a lot of stuff here. Some of it's current, some of it's not, but just something to be mindful of, to take some time to look at these websites. So let's talk about actually let's step back a level and let's do leadership. So why is this important? Well, it's important to understand who are our customers. While it is very likely that you will probably not talk with Dean Curtis on the phone, I'm of the mindset that you should always be familiar with who your important people are, so that if you encounter them while you're walking across campus or in and out of Kemper Hall, where she is located, and you happen to see her, or another chair or faculty member, sometimes taking a split second out of your day to say, good morning, good afternoon, how are you? That means a lot, especially if you can identify yourself as a member of the service desk. The IT service desk, staffed by students, is very new within the college. We technically officially went live with the sort of the full vision of the service desk only back at the end of September. So this is, the late part of August, early part of September. So this is still all very new, and anything that you as a member of the service desk can do to bring on the good graces of people and that friendly sort of smile is very helpful. So this page on leadership, these are just sort of some important people to be familiar with. You will encounter them through your travels and assisting with tickets. And the other thing to be mindful of with these individuals is that oftentimes, especially on the leadership level, pretty much until we get down to the chair part here, that this is where people will contact you on behalf of these people. So you'll see tickets from Elsa and Amy and Carrie and Rachel, sort of on behalf of Felix and Case and Ricardo. So it's just something to be mindful of. Now, as we move down into chairs, so each department within the college has a chair, and we talked earlier in the ServiceNow video about who these people are, the departments that they represent, but not who these people are. These are faculty that represent on the chair level their various units within the college. Biological and agricultural engineering, BAE, BME, chemical, and chemical and material are combined in the tool in the form of CHMS, but they are 2 different units. So just be mindful of that. Civil and environmental, computer science, electrical and computer, mechanical and aerospace. Again, You will typically not directly interact with these people. You will typically interact with people on behalf of these individuals. But the faster that you can be familiar or semi-familiar with these individuals, that will help with regards to urgency and impact when someone says, oh, well, Brian Jenkins can't do X, Y, and Z, or Roland Fowler can't do A, B, and C. Someone like that carries just a little bit more magnitude than just any old faculty member. That's not to say that other faculty are not important, but a chair is usually considered a higher priority when tickets come in, whenever possible. Okay, so that is all off of the engineering.ucdavis.edu site. As far as faculty goes, here is the faculty listing of individuals, and there are a lot of them. I think it's something like almost 200 or about 150. I, under no circumstances, expect anyone to remember even half of their names. Some of these people in the almost the year that I've been with the college, I've never interacted with in any capacity. So that just goes to show you, whereas some of these other people I interact with via tickets regularly. So, okay. Engineering.ucdavis.edu. Next, we'll move on to the labs page, and that is labs.engr.ucdavis.edu. The labs page is going to give you a lot of great insight into the computer labs for instruction that are available throughout the college. Typically, the way these labs work is they are specific to the academic unit, and thus in order to get access to them, you have to be either an undergrad or a grad in that academic unit or taking one of their classes. So for example, if we look at biological and agricultural engineering, which shows up first on this list here, it will tell you a little bit about how that works. So the first is, well, the building, okay, the room, okay, and then a little bit about the computers. So they have, this is a small lab, this is a larger lab, and then their big one is in 3026. However, one thing to consider here is, okay, they're open all hours, 24/7, but there's a keypad, which means that not just any old person can go strolling in and start using those computers. Furthermore, you see authorization, all BAE majors, which means that if you're a computer science student, you're not going to be able to get into those machines, even if you get physical access into that room. The way that a lot of these machines are locked down is you have sort of an access control list on who can or can't access the particular machines. So just be mindful of that, where someone says, yes, I'm having an issue in Boehner 3026. Well, let's do a little research. Is this person supposed to be in there? Is this person a BAE major? Well, what if the ticket is, yes, I'm trying to use, let's say I'm trying to use ArcGIS, which is a program that engineering students use in one of the other labs, and it's not working. Well, I don't see ArcGIS anywhere on this list, so that's why it's not working. Okay, well, what if I'm trying to use AutoCAD? That doesn't work either. Again, AutoCAD, not an available software product. Whereas you can see that if we look here and someone says, well, I'm trying to use Polymath, well, Polymath is available in 1326, and it's also available in 3026. So be mindful of all of these rooms. They are also not always in the same place. We'll look in a little bit about the maps of where the engineering buildings are. Okay. The other ones to be mindful of, and they're right next door to where we're at, are the two labs in 1044 and 1116. Both of those are VDI 0 clients. What that means is, well, they have what looks like a little kind of workstation. The computers themselves do not physically exist locally. They are housed and then made available to you virtually, but they still run good software. You see they run ArcGIS, MATLAB, SolidWorks, And if you're familiar with those programs, those are pretty robust programs. So they are pretty powerful. But we have some information, door access, it's open, COE majors and students and classes hosted in the classrooms. So what that means is that as long as you're a COE major and you are enrolled in one of the classes in there, then you'll have authorization to use it. Same with printing. So this information is very helpful sometimes to do some initial triage into the availability and functionality of these rooms. The last bit of information here is the additional information, which if we click here, you can see the schedule. And in this case, 11/16, if you're trying to get in there Monday through Thursday, probably not going to work. You can see it's very busy, but the room is incredibly quiet on Friday. Whereas the other classroom, it's quiet on Friday mornings and Wednesday afternoons, but there's more availability that you can use 1044 if you need to do some work. Okay. That is labs.engr.ucdavis.edu. The next one I'd like to take us to is the knowledge base. And you can access that via KB Kilo Bravo or knowledgebase.ucdavis.edu. The knowledge base is the central campus knowledge repository of a variety of insight and information into how technology works, how technology is supported, and how you can offer assistance to faculty, staff, and students for a variety of topics. There are hundreds of articles in here on a variety of things, from Office to Outlook to some Canvas stuff to Duo, multi-factor, to getting on the wireless network. They're organized fairly logically in the form of their categories you see here: internet and network, email and collaboration. The knowledge base kind of holds a special place for me, as I was previously the Central Campus Knowledge Manager, and thus a lot of these articles I either directly or indirectly was involved with creating, publishing, and maintaining. So if you have a question about how the knowledge base works or some information contained within, do not hesitate to ask, and I'll be able to tell you if the article exists or help you find it. So, for example, connecting to Eduroam Wireless with Windows 10. This is an example of a knowledge base article if you have any questions about this particular topic. Excellent. The next is we go kind of back to the engineering, and let's talk about the majors and minors. And really, this is directly related to the units within the college. We have all of the various degrees that are available, and you see that they mostly align with the departments. So for example, aerospace science and engineering is also part of MAE. And then you have, but there's a separation in the form that there's mechanical engineering and aerospace science and engineering. I wouldn't get too hung up on your ability to master all of the information about these departments. What I would focus on, though, is understanding who their people are, and also some of the tools, their locations, and things related to that. Next, we're going to get familiar with where engineering is located. First things is, where are we located? So we are on the first floor of the Academic Surge building. And I consider this kind of the southern realm of campus, shall we call it. We are in room 1112 and 1114. First floor, Academic Surge. The other building that we will regularly visit, if not daily, is Kemper Hall. I consider Kemper Hall to be kind of the engineering mothership. I would say the majority of your function and support of Kemper Hall will be engineering leadership. There's a lot of conference rooms. Just about all of the departments have some functionality in there. And there are 3 floors and a basement, and they are winding and wrapping and all sorts of stuff in here. So Kemper Hall, definitely an important location to know. The other one, and this is the, if you're a Star Wars fan, the Y-Wing that I like to call it, Boehner Hall. Boehner Hall has a lot of room for lab space, and it's split, I would say, fairly across the board as far as who's in there. Mechanical, electrical, chemical, BAE, biological and agricultural engineering, that's pretty much their mothership. They don't have a lot of stuff in any of the other buildings. They're almost exclusively in Boehner Hall. And the way that BAE kind of works is they have these wings right here. They're kind of like the Y part of the Y wing. And then this building right here, which is connected, is a separate 3-story building where this is only a single story, and that is kind of where the other units are located. And this guy in the middle right here is an air quality research center, and they have a massive wind tunnel. It's quite impressive to see. So they are located there. If you're ever the Air Quality Research Center or anything related to the wind tunnel, that's actually where they're located. It doesn't really show up on the map, so it's right in the middle of Boehner Hall. And then the last building of significant knowledge and value is Gauzy Hall. Gauzy Hall is another 3-story building, and it's super close to where we're located. Gauzy Hall houses civil, environmental, chemical, material, and a little bit, I believe, of electrical, but it's overwhelmingly civil. And then the rest kind of are chemical and material science. So just be mindful of that. If I said mechanical earlier, sorry, I meant chemical and material, not mechanical. Mechanical is going to be here in Kemper. So Gauzy Hall, Academic Surge. Academic Surge is another melting pot of a variety of units within the walls of the building. Those are going to be your 4 buildings. The other one that you'll occasionally hear me talk about, I'm going to see if I can bring this up on the map. I always kind of go too far or not far enough, is West Village. And there are some places over here that are going to be part of the Institute of Transportation Studies over here in this area. The Western Center for Agricultural Equipment, you'll occasionally see stuff pop up on our radar from them. So while this is not really engineering, it is kind of an extension of engineering locations. But this right here is your sort of primary location. The last page I'd like us to be mindful of is the status page. The status page is where Central Campus posts information about outages and other service notifications that are relevant for the technical community of campus. If someone says I can't get to something or it's not working, there's a very good chance that something is on the status page about it. status.ucdavis.edu. The previous page we were looking at is campusmap.ucdavis.edu. And once you walk the buildings once or twice, you'll get very familiar with kind of where floors and numbers are, and we'll go from there. One of the things that we'll do when you're on shift is do some walkthroughs so you can get comfortable and familiar with the area.